Hosea 14:2.
Which version?
This is, well, let's start in the Hebrew. Shuva Yisrael ad Yehovah Elohecha ki kashalta ba'avonecha. And then verse 3, Chui machem, which means return, O Israel, to Yehovah your God, for you stumbled in your iniquity. Verse 3, Chui machem dvarim v'shuvu el Yehovah, take with you words and return to Yehovah. Imru elav, say to him, Kol tisa avon v'kach tov, forgive all iniquity and take good. Shalama farim sfatenu. And I won't translate those last three words, because now we're going to look in 14:2. That was 3 in the Hebrew, but 14:2 in the King James. Take with you words and turn to the Lord. Say unto him, take away all iniquity and receive us graciously, so we will render the calves of our lips. That's King James. Yep. NIV, instead of we will render the calves of our lips, it says so that we may offer the fruit of our lips. So we went from calves to fruit. The JPS from 1985 says, instead of bulls, we will pay the offering of our lips. And the words, the offering of are in brackets. And then the JPS says, I love this little note, note A, meaning of Hebrew uncertain. Which is kind of surprising because the meaning isn't uncertain. So what we have is two translations. Is it the bulls of our lips or is it the fruit of our lips?
And we went into what I think, Nehemia, I love the process that we went into. I think it was, again, hours of time where we started looking at sources and all of those things to get to this. We're going to give you the big book version, if I can, real quick.
Before that, can we look at a few more translations? Okay. So Targum Jonathan is an ancient Jewish Aramaic translation, and it was translated by a man named Eldon Clem into English. And here he has, it's a bit longer there because it's a paraphrase, but at the end he has, and may the words of your lips be accepted before you as bulls are pleasing upon your altar. In other words, the Targum's explanation, and really what you see in the JPS is, I'm offering prayers, but I can't bring the bulls I need for atonement, so I'm offering lips in place of those bulls.
Let me ask you a question. I want to ask you a question real quick. Do you feel like we can complete it, or do you want to switch? Do you want to go to the plus, or do you want to just go ahead and... What would you like to do?
I want to look at a few other translations before we go to the plus.
Excellent.
NASB translates, and let me pull this up here. So the NASB of Hosea 4:3, or sorry, 14:3. That's the New American Standard Bible. So it's 14:2 there. They have a different verse number. Okay. Take words with you and return to the Lord. Say to him, take away all guilt and receive it graciously, so that we may present the fruit of our lips.
Right.
So it's fruit of the lips. That's there's bulls of our lips and fruit of our lips. Calves or bulls, same thing in the other one. And here there's a note B, and it says, as in ancient versions. MT, meaning the Masoretic text, meaning the Hebrew Bible, our lips as bulls. So there they're acknowledging, yes, it says the fruit of our lips in, quote, ancient versions, but it is the bulls of our lips in the Hebrew Bible. So I want to read one rabbi, what he says. He explains what the Masoretic text means. We've kind of said it, but I want to hear what the rabbi says. And then we'll go to the plus version. Rabbi David Kimchi was a rabbi in southern France from 1160 to 1265. He's known as Radak. He says, and let us pay for the bulls with our lips. And he explains, in place of bulls, we will pay with confession of our lips, for you want words of repentance more than sacrifice. The sacrifices are not effective without confession of the iniquity. As it says concerning all of the sacrifices, quote, and he shall confess his sin, which is a quote from Leviticus 5:5. Incidentally, that quote only appears in Leviticus 5:5. He says all the sacrifices, but he quotes a specific verse. There's similar things in other sacrifices. That's a direct quote. So here is really the question that we're going to answer in the plus. What are these ancient versions that say the fruit of our lips, and how and why are they different from what we have in the Masoretic Hebrew text, which has the bulls of our lips Is there a different idea there, a different theology? Is there a different text there? And it's really interesting, the answer, because it's a subtle difference. It's a subtle difference of really one letter. In fact, it could be the same letters, just dividing the words differently, but we'll get to that in the plus section.